Okay, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 3 different training regimens that you can use from beginner Saitama One Punch Man's training to intermediate Gen Wu's from solo leveling's training and a much more advanced training tactic such as Baki used to be able to have his physique. You're going to want to stick through to this video because I was having a conversation in the podcast live that I did a couple days ago, and I highly recommend you go checking that out. I had a conversation with one of the people that watches my videos. His name's escaping me right now off of my head, and I do apologize that because he did end up changing his Discord name, but him and I, we chatted for like 2-3 hours, and he brought up the idea that he wasn't like necessarily in the best shape that he wanted to be in, and I was like, that's kind of a good idea or thought, because it's like most people that play video games that I know, and I'm just overgeneralizing, so don't hate me for this, but it's like most individuals that are gamers or weebs or otakus or like nerds, basically, they don't go to the gym. They don't have this like mentality of like, okay, I want to be healthy and strong. So I wanted to give you these 3 different examples on where you can get started to improve your health, your fitness, and your overall well-being. So to start out, basically, we're going to start at the beginner level because Saitama's training is the simplest of them all. It's what you can do. You don't have to have a gym membership. You don't have to have anything else. And all you're going to want to do is have to commit to 7 days a week, which there's going to be some points that I cover throughout this video that you'll want to stick through to help becoming training and stronger a lot more easy and successful for you. So basically, Saitama, as you probably may already know, for the superhero training, you want to do 100 push-ups a day, 100 sit-ups a day, 100 squats a day, and then a 10 kilometer run, or 6.2 miles in US. And you want to repeat that 7 days a week. The push-ups, the sit-ups, and the squats, in all likelihood, I'm going to assume that those are easy for you. If not, break them up into like 4, 5, 6, 7, as many sets as you possibly need to. If you need to do like 5 sets of 25, 5 sets of 20, do that. If you need 4 sets of 25, like do that. Do whatever amount of sets work for you to be able to get the 100 push-ups, the 100 sit-ups, and the 100 squats. Now for the run, this is the hardest part, at least it has been for me. I've recently started running, so like I'm a little bit more acquainted with like how to run, what is entailed with running, and how to like increase your endurance and cardio. And it happens a lot quicker than you might originally think. So how I was able to improve my running in these scenarios, and here's the tips for running, is like start small and take as many breaks as you need. So like don't worry about like how far you're going or how quick you're going. Just worry like, okay, can I run to like this next tree, or can I run to this pole, or can I run to this like this next obstacle that's in my way, or whatever it may be, and do that. As soon as you start to do that, you'll start to realize it's like, okay, I can do this. This is a lot easier for me to be able to accomplish because you broke it up into small little bits. The second one is like go 1 mile at a time. So it's like if you can't make a full 6 miles, most of the time, I couldn't even start with 6 miles. Like, you won't be able to start with 6 miles. I started with like a mile here, a mile there, got up to 5 miles, and then I did 6, and then I just worked my way up. As I've gotten back into running too, it's been the exact same thing. I'll start by like having a very small like plan, like, okay, I'm just gonna run from here to this tree or whatever it is, and then come back, and if I have to walk sometimes, by all means. But as long as I'm going out there and attempting it, then we're solid. So you wanna work up to that 6.2 miles per day, and don't focus on the time like I was saying. It's more about just breaking down those small little tasks and those small little like, make your run as manageable as you possibly can by doing it in small little increments. So like if you're on a hike or you're on a walk or you're on a run, basically like see a car in front of you and be like, okay, I'm gonna rest as soon as I get to this car. Once you rest, it's like, all right, now I'm gonna look at my watch and I'm gonna count to 30 and then I'll start running again. But like I just have to make my run to that point, and once I do, then I can stop. And that has helped me be able to increase my running distance tenfold. And I could show this, maybe I needed to pull this up to give you a little bit more like proof of concept, but I might do that on a different day or something like that. But basically, as long as you can do that, you'll be able to increase your running capacity and your time as well with that. So on to the intermediate level, Gen Wu's training. So Gen Wu and One Piece or One Punch are basically the same. It's just instead of it being hero training, it's a daily quest. And the daily quest is going to be 100 push-ups, similar to Saitama's. You just want to break it up into incremental bite-sized pieces. Don't have to do them all at once. Sit-ups, same thing. Just break them up into incrementals, but you have 2 sets of sit-ups, so you have to do 200 sit-ups, so you get those like strong oblique abs that Gen Wu had within the series, and you'll get all the girls to look at you and be like, oh, wow, I love this guy right here. And then you have 100 bodyweight squats as well too, which I didn't say that on Saitama's, but there are bodyweight squats. So like you don't have to have gym, you can go outside, you can do it in your apartment. You can do it anywhere that you feel comfortable doing it. This is why these 2 are the beginner and intermediate levels because you don't have to go anywhere to do it. Same principles as Saitama's apply for the Gen Wu's run. So like just keep that in mind, keep it simple. The difference between like Saitama's and the intermediate level for Gen Wu is that you have a punishment. Like if you fail to complete your daily quest of doing your 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 200 sit-ups basically, 100 squats, and then your 10-kilometer run, you have to have a punishment. And this is something that helps me and has helped me to be able to maintain my level of fitness and physique, is by telling a friend of the challenge that I'm doing, and they are there to help you be accountable. So like what you want to do to have like something that you have when you don't complete the test, like obviously in solo leveling, Gen Wu, when he didn't complete his task, he was transported to a different planet and he had to outrun all these aliens for 4 hours. Like we don't want to do that for you. Instead, we want to make it that like it's something that you don't want to do and you're willing to give up voluntarily. Like I have an example for this and then we'll get to this. So like I had a buddy of mine who we were competing on something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was like, you come train legs with me if you don't get this said thing done. And, it was around him like creating and posting videos online for his YouTube channel, like to get something out there. I was like, if you don't do it within 30 days, you have to come do one of my leg workouts with me. And he's like, all right, because he didn't want to do one of my leg workouts. It wasn't like my leg workouts, guys, like are absolutely insane. But that was his punishment. Like if he didn't get the thing done, and he didn't end up getting it done, so he did end up coming to do legs with me. So it was a good punishment, but like it could have been even worse. Like something along the lines of like no video games for a day or a week or a month. Like if you don't do your challenges, you're out for that many days. No anime for a day. Like you have to donate to a bad charity. So like let's say there's, as bad as this may be, like the restoration of the South or something like that. Like you have to donate $100 or $50 to that charity by name. It's something that's going to be like have to be bad for you, or like shave your head. Like if you have long hair, then you have to shave your head. Or if opposite is just like if you like having a clean face, you have to wear a beard for a month, whatever it may be. Like make up punishments that you yourself are willing to like, this is a true punishment and I want to avoid this at all costs. And that's why I said like make up your own. It's just that's going to have to be your punishment if you don't complete your daily quest as Gen Wu did. And as you start to do this, it's going to be you're basically using negative reinforcement to have a positive outcome. It's helped me out a lot. And if it's helped me out a lot, it'll help you out a lot as well too. And the benefit of this one, of Gen Wu's training and Saitama's training, is both of these you don't have to go anywhere to do those trainings. And that's why when we go down to Baki's, where it's a much more advanced training, we have 5 days a week and they're all going to be different. Basically, we have a 7-day regimen, but like these ones, Saitama's 7 days, Gen Wu's, I'd say you can do 5 or 6 days or so. You don't have to do them every day, but like it is a daily quest, so I'd recommend doing them every day. But like the great part, and this is the training regimen that I've always done and that I like sticking to, it's just the one that I found the most joy in. I never enjoyed running all that much or doing like push-ups or sit-ups, but I understand that not everybody likes to go to the gym because you're worried of how everybody else is going to perceive you and judgments and all these other ideas and thoughts and like, oh, there's never going to be machines open. There's always like people that are going to look at me as funny because I don't know what I'm doing, but it's just like all of that's in your head. I've talked about that on different videos on this channel, so not going to go into that right now. It's just this is the training regimen that I've always enjoyed doing because I've always liked going to the gym ever since one of my buddies ended up introducing me to the gym after I did like gymnastics and football and diving and all these other sports as a kid. I started to get a gut and I wanted to change it. So one of my buddies invited me to the gym after we were playing payday until like 2 or 3 in the morning. And this was kind of a similar starting regimen that I ended up starting out with. So I want to share that with you. So on Mondays are the days that I highly recommend doing your favorite workout, whatever it may be. But the structure that I'm giving you today is start out with bench press. The bench press is going to be 5 sets of 5 at whatever weight that you can do. You want to work up to that weight. So it's not like you're starting out with like a 5x5, like start out with the bar and then work your way up to be at the point where like you're struggling to get those 5 reps or so, and do that. That's going to be your first exercise on Monday. Second one, incline dumbbell press. You can do normal incline press if you want to. I just personally have always liked dumbbells. Helps with more stability and it's more fun. Like if you don't have a spotter or a trainer, you can drop those and you won't die. Same thing for like bench press. If you'd rather do like dumbbell bench press, I'd highly recommend that instead. And just do the same thing, like because then you don't have to die under the bar or have to ask for a spot if you're nervous about doing those things. But that's why this is a much more advanced training. Why dumbbells is always the best option if you can't do a bench press. And then cable flies. So like when I say high, medium, and low, You can get to the cable machine, like it's just a normal cable machine. You want to start at the very top and then go down to the middle. It's typically 1 below 10 is wherever I would be. Your cable machines may be different at your gym. And then very down at the bottom, and you just do 4 sets of 12 there. And then planks for 60 seconds. You do 3 sets of 60. I'd highly recommend doing like single arms, like both of your arms straight, and then one on the right side and one on the left side. So then you get 3 different sets and you're working your obliques on both of those as well. Tuesday is a little bit easier than Monday because Monday is more high compound lifts. Tuesday is going to be bicep curls, 5 sets of 12, incline skull crushers, 4 sets of 12, preacher curls, 4 sets of 12, and then overhead tricep extensions with planks again, 3 sets of 60. You can do the same set of planks as you did on Monday. It's just abs is something that I know everybody wants to have, and when you do abs every single day, which you'll see coming through for the next 3 days, abs is going to be the one thing that remains constant, whereas like for Saitamas and Jinwoos, what stayed constant was the push-ups, squats, and sit-ups. So those ones are easy. Start with the weight that you need to, that you feel most comfortable. Don't worry about what other people's weights are doing. Just focus on the weight that you yourself do. Like I can if I want to, and I'm not saying this to brag, but it's just something that I can do. If I wanted to, I could be curling 45, 40, 50-pound dumbbells or whatever it may be, but like I instead just like stick with like the 25s or the 30s because I'm more focused on like the contraction and making sure I'm controlling the weight than trying to prove to somebody how strong I am. So just keep that in mind when you're at the gym or if you do end up training with somebody else. Wednesday is a leg day. So you want to start with squats, 5 sets of 5. Same thing with bench press. Work your way up to that. I right now currently am doing 3 sets of 5 at 275. That's what's working for me. If you want to do 3 sets of 5, you can do 3 sets of 5. Just 5 sets of 5 is kind of like the golden number, but typically like 3 sets of 5 will also work. Hamstring curls, you can do a machine or you can do plates. You can do hamstring curls any way that works for you. Leg press, whatever leg press feels most comfortable to you. The gym that I go to has 3, 4, 5 different leg presses, and there's one in particular that I like, so I end up sticking with that. Sled pushes is another one that I highly recommend doing. When you do sled pushes, if you have a sled at your gym that you go to, go up in weight each time. So like when you go back down and back once, add on another plate or 2 plates or how many ever plates that you need to, and you want to do 3 sets of that. And I like to superset my sled pushes with my lunges. So you'll get lunges, 3 sets of 25. Typically it's 25 down. The like turf area that I have, yours may be different, but it'd be down and then back for the lunges as well. Planks at the end of your workout, 3 sets of 60. And something that I'm forgetting to include that I'll toss in right now is at the end of each workout, do like a stretch or something like that. That's something that I always start out with. It helps me out a lot. And if you want to, like this is just basic training to be able to become strong like Baki. So just keep that in mind. On Thursdays is more of a shoulder day. So you'll start with military press. If you don't start with military press, you don't have to, but same thing, squats, 5 sets of 5. I personally like also doing dumbbell press as well after I do like my lateral raises and my dumbbell front raises as well. So like sometimes I'll do these 2 movements first before my military press or my dumbbell press. It's just I want to make something where it's like it's easier for you to do whatever works best for you. And then having shrugs so that you can have those nice obliques. Something else that I would also add in for this day is rear delts. So a little bonus for you. Rear delts have 4 sets of 12 as well. Rear delts is like when you're bending over and you're just using like your back muscles. So it's kind of like you're bringing your shoulder blades together. So if you do that, that'll be your Thursday shoulder workout. So you get bolder shoulders like Baki has, and then planks as well, 3 sets of 60. Friday, super simple. You got deadlifts or rack pulls, whichever one you feel most comfortable with. I used to do deadlifts all the time. Now I'm more focused on like rack pulls just because I get most of my weights from my squats and my bike rides and my runs. So I'm not wanting to use my legs as much and just more wanting to focus on my lower back. Whereas like rack pulls are great for that. Deadlifts are more like a full body workout. So if you're wanting more like Baki-esque and you're just getting into training, highly recommend deadlifts over rack pulls, but 5 sets of 5 at whatever weight is challenging enough for you to not be hurt. So that also applies to squats and bench press as well. Then bent over rows, I like doing them on the rack machine as well. So like wherever I'm doing the deadlifts, let's do bent over rows. I always do hands underneath the bar. Some people talk about hands over the bar, but I try to keep my elbows as close to my body as I possibly can when I'm doing my bent over rows. Lateral pull downs, basically just like you can do this either body weight pull-ups or you could also do like just a lat pull down on the machine. 4 sets of 12 there at a weight that is somewhat challenging. I personally always like going up in weight with every single rep that I do, just until like I get to a good spot, and then I'll do like 4 or 5 working sets. But like use what you think is best for you. You can either work up or work down. I highly recommend working up more than working down, and then do your 4 sets there. Then cable and dumbbell rows, same thing as like the bent over rows, but like you can do this on a cable machine, like the rows machine, cable machine, or you can just do it on like a, you can grab a dumbbell, have one hand on like, let's say a bench or something like that, and you bent over and like you're doing rows. You can look up a video online. Maybe I'll share a video as well too if you're looking to have something like that in the future. Just comment that down below for me. And then Saturday and Sunday, this is going to be an active rest. And I just want you to choose one of these out of like all of these. And if you want to, you can always add these in on like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It's just I want to keep the advanced training as simple as I possibly can for you, because I don't know where you're starting. I don't know what fitness history. I don't know what backing you have. So I just wanted to keep that in mind for you. But Saturday and Sunday, walk 10,000 steps, practice yoga for an hour. Yoga is not really an exercise, but it kind of is, because like you can break a sweat, but it's also like to help you with meditation. But nonetheless, yoga is still a great thing to do every single day if you want to, or on Saturday and Sunday. Highly recommend going on a bike ride if you have one, or if you don't have a bike, then don't go on a bike ride. But it's just nice to be able to get outside of the house and not play video games, and it kind of distracts you from everything else that you have going on. And you can listen to podcasts or conversations like this that I have when you are on your bike ride or your run or your walk or whatever it may be, so you aren't just in a stationary spot. Same thing for going for a run. These other days, as you can see, like I didn't include runs because I never ran for the longest time because I absolutely hated it. Something in me just decided to change and start doing runs. So like that is an option for you. Hiking is another great option. This is something I always did. Helped me out a lot. Ended up going out and like climbing these big mountains and then just sitting and meditating and like listening to the silence. So like if you go on hikes, I'd highly recommend not doing like listening to things all the time. Like I did listen to audiobooks when I was on hikes just to kind of help out, but like you don't have to if you don't want to. You can also slackline with people if you know what that is. It's great. Typically there's people in the park and you can always ask them. I did a video on a different channel of mine around that. You can unicycle if you know how to unicycle, maybe pick up unicycling, shoot hoops with a buddy of yours, like just be like, hey man, like can we do some cardio? Like I'd love to go shoot some hoops, play horse, whatever it may be. Most of your friends will say yes. Rock climbing is another option. You can do it outside, inside. That does require a membership, most likely. So if you're on a budget, I'd highly recommend not doing that and sticking to like the steps, the run, or the hike, just because those are all free. You can go for a swim at your gym. I personally, right now, I'm not swimming, but I'm going to be working into it, but that's also another option. I always like sitting in the sauna, doing hot yoga. It's great. It's a good way for me to challenge myself and kind of give myself a little bit of active rest. And then hot tub is the last option. So those are my hot tips on how you can do that. If you want to pause the video, take a screenshot of this workout, and you can start training this today. Obviously, do the weight that works best for you. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, perspectives, whatever it may be, just comment that down below in the description box, and I will answer all the comments that you may have around fitness. Otherwise, I hope you have a good rest of your day. You can subscribe to the channel for more content along like these lines to hopefully inspire you to go live a life and become more healthier, and like just do more than like just watching video games, playing video games, watching anime, like doing these like things that aren't progressing you forward in life. And that's basically about it. But yeah, take that screenshot, and then like these other trainings, like take a screenshot here and take a screenshot here. Wonderful. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, click that subscribe button. It's completely free, costs you absolutely nothing, and it's completely for value. So yeah, you have a good rest of your day, and I'll chat with you in the next one. Thanks for watching.